a company that started out in Latin America and grew into a global player and now is building the future of data and AI.
AI is amazing. What AI can do is amazing, but the reality is still tied to what is your data strategy.
It is all about the AI hype, right? But Qubika isn't just about the AI hype.
So when you engage with your clients or customers, do you find that the definition of agentic AI is clear and well understood by them, or is there still confusion around what it truly means?
Today, being a great programmer or knowing Python, it's not enough.
Do you feel that agentic AI is the future, or it is just another buzz that has been propagated in the industry by analysts like us?
Google was 15 years ago, as a calculator was 40, 50 years ago. AI is something that is going to be part of our day of day.
I am Sandeep Sharma, Senior Director for Research and Advisory at AIM Research, which is an analyst and advisory division of AIM Media House. And I'm joined today in this podcast by my colleague and lead analyst for AI, Navneet Ramesh. So today, folks, we've got a very serious and exciting story on our hands. A company that started out in Latin America and grew into a global player and now is building the future of data and AI with a mix of bold ideas, sharp tech, and some very serious flair. Yes, I'm talking about Qubika, the company that did not just stop at data and AI, but decided to go all in. They have very recently launched their own agentic AI platform, dived into cybersecurity, and even created Qversity, which is their own academy to train the next wave of AI talent. And here's the fun part. It is all about the AI hype, right? But Qubika isn't just about the AI hype. It is about making AI actually work. And they have teamed up with some heavyweight companies like Databricks, Snowflake, and AWS. And they're also solving the everyday struggles of enterprises, helping CIOs move beyond pilots, teaching engineers new skills, and showing that agents are not just science fiction, they are business reality. So think of them as a blend of Silicon Valley ambition, Latin American hustle, and a global mission to shape the future of enterprise AI. And today we get to dive into their exciting journey. So let's get started. I am very privileged and excited to welcome to the podcast Sebastián Díaz, who is the SVP of Data and AI at Qubika, and Aldis Stareczek, Senior Data Analyst, Solution Engineer, and a Databricks Expert. Welcome to the podcast, guys. How are you doing today?
Hello, thank you so much for this opportunity. Doing pretty well. It's really emotional to be here.
Yeah,
Great.
hello everybody. Nice to meet you guys, and we are really excited. And thank you for the invitation.
Great. Thank you so much. So let's quickly get started. And I think one of the first important and interesting segments for us would be to understand Qubika's journey, right? So let's start with the overall Qubika story. So Sebastian and Aldis, please take us through how did it all begin, and what was the spark that actually made you lean so strongly into data and AI?
Totally. Qubika is a company that already have 15 years. It's a merge between two older companies that is Movit and December Labs, two companies based in Uruguay that merged 2 years ago, 3 years ago, sorry, right now with private equity that put some funding on it called Recognize. The recognized funding it's based on New York, and people like Charles Phillip and Frank D'Souza, well known on the IT world, are part of our boarding guiding committee that are helping us to keep growing. So the company main services were more oriented to software development, to design, QA, SRE, and so on. And 4 years ago, we pivot and start adding and creating our own data and AI studio. That it was our way of entering to the services of data and AI. They start hiring me as one of the first people on the team. Before coming from Qubika, I work in companies like BASF or other consulting companies. And the idea was to build a team and scale it in a way that was useful in all the services. We start with 2, 3, 4 people, and right now we are 140 people working on data and AI, ranging from data engineers, AI engineers, data analysts, data scientists, ML ops, and so on. So the reason for this is especially that obviously software development is still booming, is still having their needs, but each day data and especially AI is consolidating as one of the main strategies of a company. It's not about a technology, it's about a business decision and creating strategies that leverage the data that companies produce in a way that they're able to obtain most of their value.
Okay, so Sebastian, in terms of where the company stands right now, in terms of your focus, in terms of your scope right now, so when we say data and AI services, can you help us understand the entire spectrum of services that you offer? What exactly do you offer? And what is your focus as far as industry verticals is concerned, as far as geographical locations are concerned?
Perfect. So Qubika right now, the delivery centers are based on South America, mainly in countries like Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil, and Colombia. And our 95% of our clients are US based. Our range of verticals goes from fintech, healthcare, and media entertainment, like the three top main clients that we have. And we have others like sports, tech ed, and so on. So when we talk about what are data and AI services, we obviously in these 4 years we changed our way of presenting our offering in different ways, especially looking how market is changing. And right now we are able to round it in three big pillars. These pillars, as we see it, are the main ways on how AI and data is being used in the actual landscape. So we have our Accelerate AI. That is how we see that AI helps organizations into increasing their productivity, either on their employees, make them faster using the AI tools to make their work much better, or actually increasing the process that they move between the company using AI technologies. For the other side, we have the AI agents that we see as those custom tools of AI that we use to also increase or create new features inside the organization. Many things that they want to do, the companies are right now are not covered by tools. All the tools that are in the market are really, let's say, like more holistic or generic, but they are not focused on the business problem that each company have and make difference between them. Lastly, and we think this is the most important, and it was the first step on data and AI from Qubika, we have the data foundation. AI is amazing. What AI can do is amazing, but the reality is still tied to what is your data strategy, what is your data foundation, what you have right now, how you are using your data. So services like, for example, building lakehouse, processing unstructured and structured data, creating models more oriented to the traditional machine learning side, getting business knowledge and so on are part of the data foundation that make AI development much successfully that if they go directly to it. Many times the companies, what they have, they see in pages in LinkedIn or other pages, they see what other companies are doing in AI, and they say, I want to be there. When they start implementing, doing POCs and so on, they start discovering that right now they don't have the same starting point that those other companies. So mainly what in Qubika we do is help them fill that gap, help them quickly to establish a data strategy and a good foundation so they're able to leverage on all the cool things that AI is able to offer as soon as possible in a stable way, a scalable way, and the most important thing for us, in a secure way.
Okay, so Sebastian, help me quickly recap the three pillars that you were talking about. The first one is accelerate AI, right? And what's the
Correct.
second one?
The second one is agentic platform,
Okay,
and the third one is data foundation.
data foundations. Wonderful. So I think, Sebastian, from whatever we have observed in the market, I think you've hit the right check boxes as far as overall gaps in the market are concerned. So you're looking at data foundations, which are actually very, very important. You're looking at scaling AI initiatives and programs within enterprises. That's, I think, the need of the hour as well. And more importantly, in keeping up with the innovation agenda, you have also launched your Agentic AI platform. So we will talk about each one of these services and pillars in slightly more depth, Sebastian. Let me just quickly ask you about, since agentic AI is being talked about everyone, it's the hottest topic right now. So let me just quickly ask about your agentic AI platform. So what exactly, in a layman, so assume that I'm a layman, how would you explain what your agentic AI platform does? What are the typical use cases for what industries, for what functions? Could you please help explain that?
Totally. So we call it QAP, Qubika Agentic Platform. And mainly what it does is create a framework of building agents and AI workflows in a way that you are able to observe or tackle the problem in a 360 grade degrees. So each time someone wants to develop an AI agent or an AI workflow, the problem that they have is that they see a tutorial or they see documentation, for example, how to do a RAG, a retrieval, and they take the LLM, they take the documents, they run it, they do some question, and they say, okay, this is amazing, this is easy, I'm going to be able to implement it. The problem is that AI, more than ever, the gap between a POC and to a production ready feature is really huge. And there are a lot of things that you don't know that you need to cover, and you discover it in many times too late, like memory management, chunking, embedding, how you are going to deal with the feedback, how you are going to observe, eval, monitor, and so on. So what we say is, okay, we need a way of building AI workflows and agents that we are able to have all this consideration as in day one. Instead of do an afterthought, something that you do after you already build everything, we say, no, this is important. Let's put as an example, evaluations. So evaluations and monitoring is something that people does in a common software development cycle after they reach sometimes the MVP. Okay, that works, especially because they have now an MVP, they are able to do it. In AI, you have the problem that because it's non-deterministic, it's really difficult to know if what you are doing is actually advancing toward your goal or if it's making it bad or worse. So most people, what they do is they test it by eye. They look, they write a question, and they get the answer and say, "Oh, I think it's okay." The reality is that if you don't have hard evaluation metrics, you are not able to actually know how the model is performing, if it's actually doing what is expected, if it's going to react well when you try to break the guardrails and so on. So what we build with QAP is a model where we are able to implement it in our client environment. So we are not a third party provider services. We take the QAP, we embed it in the environment organization, and we create all these places where we are able to manage the memory, MCPs, connections, vector DBs, graph DBs, and so on. And because we already do it in multiple clients, that model is already refined. All that is wrapped with an UI that lets people to build agents in a similar way like N8N or QAI, where you are able to drag and drop the agents that you already built and connect it between them to achieve the goal that you want. In that way, you end with a platform that is scalable, because each agent, each AI feature that you develop, you are able to reuse it in other workflow, in other agent, and so on. It's observable because you have evaluation metrics from day one that are composed by custom evaluations definitions that are specific for that organization. You have the set or the package of metrics that are used right now on the market that are standard. And you have more holistic rules, things that are hard rules that the AI needs to follow. And lastly, with all of this, we make it secure because we use all this lives in your environment. No data, no model is trained outside your environment. So everything that you do, it's maintained inside your walls. This makes that the adoption of this type of solution much safer than other alternatives. Lastly, something that I would love to add, and something that we see in most organizations, is that when they start doing AI, they start with different initiatives in different teams, and each teams they read different documentation and they do it how they want it. So giving QAP to our clients, they are able to make all those teams follow the same guidelines. Obviously, these things change and keeps evolving, but at least they have a common way, a regulated way of developing across the organization.
Okay, that seems wonderful. In fact, Sebastian, what I think is that you're solving a key puzzle for most of the enterprises. I think they would definitely want software, platforms of these kinds to be actually deployed within their own environments. And most important part is data privacy and security for them, especially for the data on which the AI models have to be trained on as well. So I think whenever you are developing agents, they have to be trained on company specific data. An LLM is fine, but most of the times you don't need an LLM. Most of the mid-sized models or small-sized models would actually work much better. And especially if all of these models are actually trained on company-specific data, I think that is what makes the real difference. And if it can be deployed in an organization's own environment, and that too with the guardrails of security governance, I think that is music to the ears of your potential customers. Wonderful. That's a wonderful thing.
Correct.
So, Sebastian, on that note, I will just extend this agentic platform conversation a little further. So, right now, in your conversations, where are you seeing the maximum demand for agentic platform, for your own platform? Which industry verticals? What kind of use cases are agents being developed for?
Okay, so mostly what we see is in two areas. Obviously, the retrieval. People wants to be able to serve their information. Each organization is having each day more information, and especially having different rags that are able to adapt to the different inputs of data, like images, Excel spreadsheets, PDF, a structured database. They want to be able to tackle the all-in landscape of data and be able to answer questions. What I see is that in the traditional data world, where we create and process a lot of data to create reports, people don't want to see right now reports. They want to answer questions. So having the ability of doing natural language to answer those questions for people that they don't have the time or the technical knowledge to actually get that information, for them is saving time, is taking decision faster, and so on. And we see this in the financial world, especially where they need to process thousands of data points to be able to take decisions that move a big amount of money. But also we see it on the healthcare side, for example, studying all the documents on a healthcare lawsuit or so on, or in a deposition. We see it when people wants to do discoveries to start doing a new project and so on. So able to retrieve this information is key. The other big use that we are seeing and the big request is to parsing data. Until now, parsing unstructured data was really difficult, takes a lot of manual steps, a lot of inaccuracy. And with the introduction of LLMs, this is getting each day better. Right now, what we were in the past processing 200, 300 pages of documents and looking for information, particular information to be used in other systems. So people right now is parsing documents, parsing images, and using it in their own workflows that they already have established before AI. So those two uses are the most wanted or desired. Obviously, we are starting to see people, organizations that they want to actually the agents to start executing things behind the curtain without actually them knowing what they're happening. Like an email arrives to my inbox, already triggered all the mechanism, but because people still is building that trust to AI, they prefer to see things that are actually able to check the results before executing any task. So parsing and retrievals are the most common requests.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So I think we have discussed a fair bit about platform. Let me also bring in my colleague Navneet into the conversation right now. And I think one of the key activities that you and the Qubika team is largely involved is accelerating AI innovation within organizations. So I'm going to bring in my colleague Navneet, and he has some questions for you as to how you have been successful in accelerating AI within organizations. Navneet, over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandeep. So, Aldin and Sebastian, before we get into the specific corruption challenges, let me ask you this. So, when you engage with your clients or customers, do you find that the definition of agentic AI is clear and well understood by them, or is there still confusion around what it truly means?
That's a really good question. And me, as a data expert, I need to be really transparent about it. So, what we see right now is that you have the agent or agentic definition that is the real one accepted by data professionals. What it does is an autonomous AI using tools and interacting with environment. Uh, and we see the AI agent definition that the market is accepting. So right now, as you see, the market is calling AI agents to almost all AI development, including things that are actually automated scripts that they don't have a lot of AI. They are calling it AI agents. So right now we are in the middle, right? Like if you are too purist on all these and say no, you don't want to build an AI agent, the board members for them are asking AI agents, and maybe they don't have the exact business cases that feel in that limit. But what we need to do is help them try to be a little forgettable about the actual correct definition and give them what they need. So yeah, I see that there's not a common ground and a good knowledge about what an AI agent is, and actually if your organization needs an AI agent. In my opinion, most companies, what they need is an AI workflow. Is a more deterministic approach of steps executed, and in the middle you have LLMs that parse data, get data, and so on. But at the end of the day, is really deterministic with a Boolean action, either this happens or this happens, but not so much as what an AI agent means.
Right. The next question, maybe Aldin, you could take it. Aldis, you could take it. When you sit down with the companies, what do they tell you is the toughest part about making Gen AI or agentic AI work in the real world? You can put it either from the business perspective or technology perspective.
So, Sebastian, you can pitch in too if you want.
Yeah. So something to add here, and it's really interesting. So what we see is that AI, the problem is the AI right now is not technology. We have the advantage that technology is advancing really fast. What we see about AI, the challenges that they have is about adoption and business oriented targets. I always joke about this. I am already 15 years on this business. And 10 years ago, this was called digitalization, right? It was having the same issues. People, organizations that want to digitalize, having issues of actual employees adopting technology, automating things, making faster and more productive, and so on. So AI is facing the same problems. How we are able to translate business problems into technology, and in this case, into AI. So part of introducing AI is and the challenges that you have is building something that is trustable. But because if the results are not able to be trustable, people are going to go back to their spreadsheets. That is what they have the trust right now. Also, we know that the AI is able to reflect correctly the business problem. And lastly, that people understand what is the potential of AI. That instead of doing a new process manually, they say, wait, I have already these tool sets of AI in my organization that I'm able to combine to get these results. So this is the reason that here on Qubika, we challenge this instead of going with AI engineers, data scientists, and so on. We include our product team because at the end of the day, these are process, product, business, and they are the gap that connects all this technology and expertise with the business people. So yeah, we think that that is one of the biggest problems that AI is having right now on the adoption. The other one that we see is many people or many clients that they use a third-party tool, or they do their own POC. They burn a lot of money, and they discovered that the results were not what they were expecting. So they right now are a little untrustable about what AI is able to do, and they are really difficult to convince to give a second chance. But right now with a different approach, more control, more structure, more strategic. So that type of convincing is part of what the things that we need to face.
Right. So we are already in a market where technology is actually evolving every day. As organizations transition from Gen AI co-pilots or assistants to more autonomous agentic AI systems, how should they be realigning their AI strategy to prepare for this shift, Sebastian?
That's a good question. From our point of view, what we see is that before, when we were building software solutions, we tried to build something that was really robust and it was going to scale and perdure in time. Right now, you need to be able to build the same robust solutions, but they need to be really flexible. They need to be built in a way that you are able to plug and play the different AI components, because they are changing, and we are not talking about monthly change. We are talking about weekly change. So you need to be able to adapt. You need, as an organization, or if you are hiring a partner to actually build this, have an R&D team that is some steps forward, on the frontier, investigating, able to discern what right now it's going to be state of art, what is going to be something to discover more in the future, and getting that information as soon as possible on the development team, so they are able to actually implement it as fast as possible and adopt it inside the architecture.
Great. And how is the team internally adapting to all these changes? For example, many of the larger enterprises are setting up center of excellence just to keep up with the pace of agentic AI developments. So how is it actually happening within Qubika? Can you throw some insights on it?
Well, so in Qubika, what we have right now, we have an R&D department. We are investing our own money to research the different AI methodologies and logics that are being released, but also doing a curated toolbox of AI tools. Something that we discovered, for example, for developers, or QAs or designers, so on, is that right now the market is overcharged of AI tools possibilities. Many AI tools that they are offering, like they are the best on what they do. Uh, And for sure, there are really good tools, but also there are a lot of tools that create security compliance problems. So what we do within our AI expert and cybersecurity team, we curate the tools, we understand each release, what they are doing, and we fall back with a notification to our employees what they can use, what things they need to be careful, and so on. At the same time, we are capacitating and transforming all of our talent into an AI driven talent. So AI is not something that only needs to be adopted by data engineers, software engineers, so on. It's something that we are embedding in our genes, in things like, for example, our QA, project manager, product management, our operations team, they are using AI to make things faster. So what we are establishing is that in the whole company, AI is a topic of discussion. And it's not something that some people feel too far because it not doesn't involve their work.
Great. Uh, so my last question on the adoption is, you came up with something called an agentic AI roadmap. What does it look like, and how does it help companies move past the pilot trap, Sebastian?
Excellent. So AI roadmap is our way of wrapping up the three pillars that I was mentioned on the start. It's a way of building a strategy that leverage in those pillars and builds on top of it. So how we are not building something, or it's not something crazy. We are based on design thinking and already proven method on how to improve or create a roadmap of features. And with that, what we do is we combine product and data people to talk with the business, understand what is their data situation right now, what is the business situation, what they want to achieve. With all that, we identify what are the low-hanging fruits, what are the ROI of those low-hanging fruits, and we create an execution plan to adopt that as a more steady forward strategy instead of little POCs that are going to be forgotten on the company. So the AI roadmap is, at the end of the day, is a discovery that leverage in design thinking techniques to able to create a strategy for the companies, and in a more consulting way to take the right decisions in the right moment inside the organization.
Great. A necessary step to transition beyond vendors and actually become knowledge partners to your enterprises.
Exactly.
Can you give an example where this has worked out really well, Sebastian, if you can?
Totally. So, for example, we have a corporate company. It's a company that is in a multinational level. They have more than 3,000 employees, and they mainly work on the payment wall between most of the services like Uber and so on. And the problem that they have is that when they want to start adopting AI and say, okay, we are AI first company, right? But the problem is that when they start seeing how to implement AI, they didn't know how to start it. So we talk with them and say, okay, what are the business case? And they were having a list of, I don't want to lie you, but there were 300 different business cases between all the business units. So here is where our AI product team start working, start getting interviews with the different stakeholders, start understanding, start seeing that many of those processes were more inefficient than actually in need of AI. And that is really important, because if you take an inefficient process and you put it AI on it, it's going to be an inefficient AI process. So understanding if the problem is the process or the actual method on how you run the process is part of this discovery that is going to make actually a good decision taking when you are transforming the organization. So after we detect all those, we reduce that list into 10 automated business process that we detect that they were going to have in actual effectiveness. And right now, executing that process after the roadmap and those interviews and those examinations and so on, we are already saving 6,000 hours per month automating all those type of things. So the interesting for them is after they start seeing this value, after they have already a consolidated strategy on how to tackle new business cases, they are able to keep increasing and keep making this AI pod embedding on the different business units and keep scaling with the organization.
Great. Sandeep, please take the next section up, the foundation of agentic AI.
Great, great. Thank you. Thank you, Navneet. And thank you, Sebastian. I was listening very patiently to all the challenges that you talked about. In fact, one of the clear challenges, Sebastian, is that AI is a solution looking for a problem. That is a very, very clear statement.
Yeah.
I think that is a clear insight. In fact, I've seen this in India, in the Middle East, in the US markets as well. So that's actually, you've hit a nail on the head with that statement. Some of the other challenges, Sebastian, are building the right foundation. I think that is lacking right now. And also, I think the entire market has completely ignored or maybe underestimated the real impact of people training, skilling, and reskilling. So I'm going to come to you asking questions about data foundations, the importance of data foundations. And I'm going to come to Aldis for the people part, the training part. And I think I will ask her questions about Qversity, right? So coming to you first, Sebastian. So let's talk about data foundations. That's one of the core pillars for your services. And we all know that garbage in is garbage out, right? So that's the
Exactly.
GIGO principle that is followed in computing. So help us understand what are some of the most weird, crazy problem statements, specifically challenges that organizations tell you that these are some challenges we face, and ultimately they turn up to be data management challenges.
So good question. So first of all, to enter on this is that we know that 10 years ago, people were saying to gather data, you need to start gather data. And the big problem was, yes, you're gathering data, but you are not using it. So I think we are already past that, or we are more advanced on that on the established market. But with the adoption of AI and AI expecting to do and solve business problem, what we feel that we are missing is actually business knowledge data. And we are not talking about your revenue metrics or your cost metrics. We are talking about on how your business works. That business knowledge right now is living in the mind of your employees or is not really well documented inside your organization. And we are expecting to foreign AI, because the reality is that these models are already trained. You want to be able to solve business problem like they are 10 years old employees in your organization, and especially without that business knowledge. So what we try to talk to the companies and trainees, think about like AI is a new employee, and you need to teach that employee, give them the knowledge, and have also the patient of the AI learning, or the employee learning the all the edges of your business to be able to answer good questions. So what we do and we tell to our clients is, doesn't matter that you don't have a AI case. Our recommendation is start documenting, start gathering business knowledge. And obviously you need to do it in a way that it is going to be useful for AI. Start measuring your process that you want to change with AI. Start defining what they are, what right now is taking, because if not, you are going to implement AI and you're not going to know exactly how it's helping. You are not going to be able to calculate the ROI because you didn't have your starting point. So in the crazy things, for example, we have a client that they wanted to change the onboarding process. So they use a person to have a conversation with their own client, and they take notes and ask questions and so on. And they wanted to say, okay, I don't want to have the person in the middle anymore. I want to an AI to actually do the interview, let's say. So when we start talking with them and then say, okay, perfect, this is a classic AI problem, this is already proved and it's easy to solve. What we discover is they don't have the questions documented. Like the questions that they did, it was on each interviewer mind, and they were not actually in a framework or in a template. Also, they didn't have like what was the expected answer. So we are not able to address, okay, what we should be expecting in the answer, to know if we need to redo the question or change the semantic of the question, and so on. And lastly, and the most important question, when we say, okay, why you want to change this, what is the actual cost of having a human in the loop, a human doing the interviews, how much time is taking to do the interview, what is the cost of doing it, and so on. They didn't know that. They didn't measure that. So that's a big problem, because at the end of the day, you want to invest money on changing something that you don't know if it's working or not, and also you don't have the foundations to make the new technology to actually work and get better results of what you are already having. uh, and we see this across of multiple organizations, that they will say, okay, we need to implement AI, we need to push AI everywhere. Wait, what is the actual problem? What are the measures of those problems? And it's actually AI the best answer of it? The only way of knowing that is measuring, having the business knowledge, and so on. So I think these are the most crazy things that we are facing, when obviously there's pressure of implementing AI, but not an actually strategy of what you need to be already ready and on site to actually implement AI.
So, Sebastian, would you call it data management 101? Starting with the very
Totally.
basics.
And I agree. From one side, seeing it as a data professional, AI trigger a gold rush and everyone is crazy of implementing AI. So it's adding a lot of pressure for data professionals to try to solve things with a little data foundation resources. But from other side, at least we are putting this discussion on the tables. We have C-levels that they're saying, oh, wait, I have a data foundation problem. And this was always our nirvana as a data professionals, to say, hey, guys, this having a data strategy is not about, for example, a bank. I don't sell data. I sell mortgages. Yeah, but data is what is the blood in your veins that moves your business. It doesn't matter that you are selling mortgages. So at least right now we are having this discussion because people want to reach AI and they are not able to reach it. So they know right now the importance of it. So it's a mixed emotional combination of happy because we are getting in the important matters, but at the same time because we are not able to give what the clients are expecting because they don't have the maturity, the data maturity achieved.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. In fact, people want shinier objects. People don't want the real plumbing behind. That's
Exactly.
fantastic to know. Anyways, so I have another important question to ask. So, in building the data foundations for enterprises, I think you need to be working on a lot of modern data platforms, right? So that's a very important piece. And obviously, you need the entire data management, data governance stack. So I just wanted to check with you. I think you are top tier partners for Databricks and some other data platform companies like Snowflake and AWS. So, Sebastian, how important are these partnerships with data platform companies in helping address some of the data foundation related challenges for your clients?
So right now for us is key, is strategic having this partnership, mainly for two reasons. The first one is about technology adoption. So people say, okay, I have a problem about data foundation. What I how I solve it. So be able to be partnered with the top tier technologies on the market that they already have in their minds AI and not only data engineering, data analysis, and so on. So they have AI on their roadmap and in the features that they are releasing make really easier our conversations. So for example, I want to put a case of our client that they want to do data foundation. They want to achieve be able to ask something about the business and answer it, right? But they discovered that many companies say, hey, you cannot do it because you don't have a lake house. So when we start talking with them, we say, okay, I think we could kill two birds with one stone, because you need a lakehouse. So let's put Databricks. Databricks has all the features to build that lakehouse that you need. But at the same time that you are building the lakehouse, you are able from day one to leverage of AI solutions like Genie AI, for example, to answer and have those cool features that you want to achieve. So having a good knowledge of these tools and be able to recommend it make the companies at least less concerned about the gap they have, and they trust, okay, thank you that you are able to help me to achieve what I want at the same time that you are solving me my data foundation problems. At the same time, because landscape is changing so fast, having a partnership with Databricks, AWS, and so on, make it easier for us to talk with their experts, their architects, and say, hey guys, we are facing this problem. We never faced it before. What you have right now, you have other clients that are facing it. Could you give us some advices how to solve it with your tools, or something, for example, that a program that you are going to know? And that helped us a lot. For example, with AWS, you know that AWS is releasing a lot of AI cool features, but at the same time, especially all the cloud providers, they are famous to not continue with some of those services. So having a partnership make us, hey, we are going to use this service. I don't know, Titan model. Could you grant me that you are going to keep pushing your strategy with this model from here to 1 2 years? And when they say yes, go on, or no, we are going to discontinue this in 6 months, okay, this gives us a lot of leverage on taking decisions and recommending the best options to our clients. So these type of opportunities make us a good partner, a good strategic partner with them, and we are able to give them really good quality to our clients using this type of tools.
Okay, that's wonderful. So Sebastian, I think we have discussed a lot about AI adoption. We have discussed about challenges, data foundations. I will actually bring Aldis into the conversation right now, and this is a very, very sensitive topic, Aldis. I think many organizations and especially a lot of people are getting impacted by AI. And let me also put forth a statement that people-related challenges are a major reason behind the lack of scaling or the lack of adoption of AI, because people really don't know how to use AI internally. So, in your opinion, have you seen this as a real challenge that the organizations are facing right now? And in your opinion, again, what skills do people in organizations need right now in order to become ready for this agentic AI journey?
Yeah, so today being a great programmer or knowing Python, it's not enough. To be ready for world of agentic AI, engineers need a very different mix of skills, like a deep understanding of data, from governance to quality, business awareness, to make sure AI is always tied to real impact, strong communication skills, because it is not just about building models, it is about explaining how they make decisions and creating trust. And yeah, a really challenging thing that staying constantly updated with the new technologies that are emerging almost every week. So in short terms, the professional who combines technical skills with business insights, human communication, and continuous learning will be the ones creating the most value, from sure.
Okay, and that's very interesting. And what you said is absolutely right. You need a mix of business as well as technical skills. So let me ask you this: how are you? So I think Qversity is a very important initiative and it should be lauded by the overall industry. So I just want to know some more details about Qversity. What exactly are you building? What exactly are the goals and plans for you as far as Qversity is concerned?
Yeah, so Qversity was this year initiative for Qubika that encourage new talents, young people to be part from a big company of software of Uruguay and Colombia because it's more presence trial for them, and it's a program focused on data engineers path. And yeah, we had different sessions with them. All Fridays was present classes with them to be part of Qubika's day and to be really close to our professionals from Qubika. So at Qversity, the experience for the participants is like truly immersive. They are not only learning modern tools like Databricks, DBT, Airflow, different cloud providers through real world cases, but they are also get the opportunity to train side by side with professionals who are already in the industry. So this gives them their direct expose to the real world of data engineers and helps them understand firsthand how projects are actually running inside Qubika. From day one, they are surrounded by experts and the learning goes beyond the technical. Honestly, that has been the key factor in the success of this program and why we are so proud of the results we are achieved.
So, Aldis, what are some of the key roles that really hot right now, that are most in demand right now? And what are the most popular, certifications or courses that you run as a part of Qversity?
Yeah, in general, the most in-demand role today, especially in our case, are data engineers. That's why our Qversity program is focused on this role. Why? Because they are the foundation of any data project, whatever if it's involved AI or not. They make sure the data infrastructure is solid, scalable, and reliable, and that's essential for any initiative. So and perhaps talking about specifically AI projects, maybe it is not the role that is most in demand, but I believe is one of the most critical roles is the data scientist. This profile is key because it connects the technical side with the business side. They don't just build models, they make sure those models actually address business needs and solve real problems. And talking about certification, because our really focus on our partnership with Databricks, we encourage all our employees to have certification of Databricks. We have more than 200 certificate professionals right now. This year we have aimed that huge goal. And that's for these certifications, there are really different paths of Databricks. So we have associated and professional for data engineers and machine learning engineers, the data analyst associated, and generative AI certification associated too.
Okay. And going 3 to 5 years, down the line, what are some of the broader outcomes or plans for Qversity? How many people are you looking to train? Have you set such ambitious goals for Qversity?
Yeah, we are really happy with the results so far. Honestly, it was a very thought decision to choose the final 50 people who were hired by Qubika because there was so much talent. And our goal now is to make this process stronger and more structured each time. And in the short term, we are already planning the second edition of the Qversity. So looking forward.
Best of luck. Best of luck for that Qversity program.
Yeah. Something to mention that is important that we see that right now the market is suffering is if you see the seniority pyramid right now, it's more like a rom. Like right now, you have so much seniors, and we're talking about 3 year seniors, like they're and they are, from a salary point of view, really difficult to move, and it's really competitive. And we see that many organizations are not giving the opportunity, especially to the young ones, to the juniors, and everyone was junior one in a time in their life, right? So what we are investing, especially on Qubika, is to wide up that base of the pyramid, to having the future seniors right now train, instead of looking for the best senior right now. As I said, it's really difficult to be senior right now because this technology is new, it's changing so fast. The other day, we have a company that asked us 5 years of experience on LLMs, and it's a, well, except that you work on OpenAI with Sam Altman or something like that, is going to be a little difficult. So yeah, I think that investing on talent, transforming talent, is the best strategy that Qubika could do for the next years.
So, Sebastian, have you come across any JDs that ask for 10, 15 years of experience in Gen AI?
Yes, yes. Especially they expect that we have two things, two different point of view. People that they expect that you have a lot of experience with LLM, and we say in the interaction with the client, I'm not going to lie you. If someone is telling you that it has this amount of experience, is lying to you. Like what we have is 3 years of experience, a lot of foundation on how LLMs are built, because this is not new technology from a theoretical point of view, but we have what we have. On the other hand, we have clients that they say, I don't want to know anything about LLMs except that you work on the four big companies that are on the frontier of LLMs. So, and for me, I'm kind of totally agree with their point of view, because most people, what they are using LLMs is using already trained LLMs, and they use it as an API. They are not actually entering on the balances and core of the LLMs. So yeah, it's really divided, the market right now.
Yeah, sure. So, talking about the market, Sebastian, how do you see the AI adoption 3 to 5 years from now? Do you see AI adoption scaling, and especially about agentic AI? Do you feel that agentic AI is the future, or it is just another buzz that has been propagated in the industry by analysts like us? What are you seeing?
I'm divided on that. From one side, internally, I wanted to keep advancing. In the other hand, I see that as the same as digitalization, until we are not able to win the trust of the users, on the employees of an organization, it's going to be really difficult to leverage that on agentic work, agent development. So in my opinion, I hope so that keep advancing. I hope so that I think the big concern right now is they need to get cheaper. They're really expensive right now. It's really easier to increase your AI account really, really fast. And at the same time, we need to start lowering our expectation of AI. I always comment this with our client, but we expect from AI to do less error than a human. So we are comparing it with a human. We want it to do the same work as a human, but we have a lower tolerance than with a human. So we need to start lowering the expectation of AI, understanding how AI is actually advancing, not the marketing of AI, like actually what is advancing, what it's adding, and slowly adding it in the culture of the company, instead of replacing people and so on. That I see is the future of AI. As Google was 15 years ago, as a calculator was 40, 50 years ago. I think AI is something that is going to be part of our day of day. We are going to assume that people are using ChatGPT, and if they are not using it, we are going to ask why. But it's not going to be something that is going to replace people, at least as my point of view.
Okay, wonderful. That's a fairly balanced view because, in fact, if you ask some industry leaders, they will actually, spell doomsday for the industry, especially for people that AI is coming and all the jobs of the people will go away. So I think that's a fairly balanced view, Sebastian. Great. So, keeping in mind this balanced view, Sebastian, what's the outlook for Qubika? Where do you see Qubika heading? And if you have a magic wand, what additional capabilities would you add to Qubika?
So I think what we want to be is, instead of running or trying to achieve the last invention, we will be more a consultant company, expert on subject matters on business side, on the financial, healthcare, and so on, and giving our best recommendation on how to implement AI, but also technologies, digitalization, and so on to those companies, especially to reduce the noise for them. So as we want to be on the future is more on the consultant side and less on the execution side, because what we see is the execution, it's getting really populated each time. It's more easier to do it, let's say, or more competitive. But in the other hand, the consultancy side, the one that actually is able to talk with an insurance client and know what are the insurance organization problem, each time is more value.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, great. Thank you so much, Sebastian and Aldis. Thank you. It has been a wonderful conversation. We have discussed the overall journey of Qubika, what does it do, and we have discussed the three important pillars of Qubika. And very importantly, we have touched upon the data foundations and the people aspect. I think they're very, very important. Thank you so much for sharing all of these insights and Qubika's perspective with us.
Totally. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for this opportunity. We love to have more instances like this. And yeah, thank you for the time.
It's completely our pleasure. Thank you so much. So that's it for today's podcast from Latin America, South America to US. Qubika's journey has shown that AI isn't just about data and agents, it's about vision, talent, and the courage to make it real. So thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and keep riding the AI wave, but with a balanced approach. Thank you so much. Have a good day ahead.